Welcome to Harsh Reality broadcast on the 3rd of December 2015. The title of this presentation is called Look for the Hidden Agenda in Politics. In this article, dated the 2nd of December 2015, it says, England cannot build the 300,000 homes a year it needs. Construction industry lacks the capacity to build enough houses, says former Bank of England policymaker. Now we've got to ask the question, why can we not build enough homes? And the problem is that our net population is increasing far too quickly. We've got more people coming into the country than leaving the country, and that is causing a massive pressure on our infrastructure. Osborne banks on migration to boost economy. David Cameron was today accused of giving up on tackling immigration. As it emerged, the government's hopes of balancing the books depend on an extra 1.1 million migrants arriving over 5 years. Chancellor George Osborne plans to eliminate the deficit and achieve a surplus of more than 10 billion by 2020. Well, it's nice to see an article that actually reflects the truth, because in the past the governments have been saying we're going to start reducing migration, and they don't. It increases. Well, now we know the reason why it is increasing. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against migration to the UK. What I am very, very worried about is the rate of migration to the UK. It's far too quick. It's going to change our culture. It's affecting already our infrastructure. It's going to affect the healthcare. It's going to affect our pensions and our entitlements. We just do not have the money for the excessive migration coming to the UK. It's a Ponzi scheme, and it's going to end in tears. Here is an interesting article from the Mail Online. It says, they knew the exact time and the exact place. Putin accuses US of leaking flight path of doomed jets to Turkey as his fearsome anti-aircraft missiles roll into Syria. Now it's very interesting when you look at public opinion from the US and the UK. And it seems that in general the public opinion agree with Putin's version of events and not Turkey's. And it's interesting to see that the general public is at odds with its own government. It is pleasing to note that people are beginning to wake up and question what their governments do. In the past, people trusted their governments with blind faith because they didn't have access to any alternative media. They just had the media that was fed from the state. Today, people can actually be more objective and get a balanced view on things. And this is really pleasing to see, because I think now more and more people are becoming critical thinkers. And here's a few comments I just want to read out. This one has 248 upvotes, and it says, funny, isn't it? How we've been told over and over again how Putin is the bad guy, but now it seems most people are beginning to realise we're on the wrong side. It was strange to see among the moderate rebel people with professional photographic equipment and video cameras in an area where the Russian bomber was shot down. They really knew the exact time and place. Here's another one. I'm a former US soldier, and I would like to let our Russian friends know that most Americans support you and are against Obama and the majority of our US leaders. Godspeed to the Russians. These are top comments from the Mail Online reflecting public opinion. Here is an interesting article, and I'm actually surprised this has been admitted by Bedfordshire Police. And it says, fines for every speeding motorway driver among plans put forward by Bedfordshire PCC. Controversial plans to fine every speeding driver on one of our busiest motorways and bring in sponsorship for police cars and uniform have been revealed. They're the latest money-raising schemes from Bedfordshire's Police and Crime Commissioner, Ollie Martins. He says he's having to think outside the box to get round government cuts and has been outlining his plans in front of MPs this afternoon. He says, I'm running out of levers to pull. Clearly, earlier in the year, I've tried the council tax referendum. I've now tried going to the government and explaining to them our predicament. Neither of those have delivered what we need, so the initiatives I'm now looking at are increasing what we raise by maxing out on the speed cameras on the M1. That could potentially raise us £1 million. Well, I'm actually truly disgusted that they're going to these measures. Speed cameras are not supposed to be cash cows. They're supposed to be there for safety. Now, in the UK, the speed limit on the motorways is 70 miles an hour. And what they're proposing, if anybody goes even 1 mile per hour above that, they'll be fined. Well, we've hit a new low. This caption seems to reflect modern Britain. I'm quite saddened to see this article in the Telegraph. It says David Cameron tells Tory MPs ignore the terrorist sympathisers and vote for Syrian bombing. Now, I'm no fan of Jeremy Corbyn, but I do believe he is a man of principle. And he is against the Syrian bombing. And one of the reasons he's against it is because he thinks it will make matters worse, and he cannot see a strategy, an endgame by the government, and therefore is opposed to it. He is not, and I repeat, he is not a terrorist sympathiser. And I think that was well below the belt from David Cameron. But there you go, that's politics. I'd like you to see the next clip and just let me know what you think about it.
The following preview has been approved by Greens in Europe for everyone but multinational corporations. In a world full of challenges, where democracy has been fought for around the globe, some people took action to make things even worse. Get ready for TTIP, the biggest bilateral agreement ever between the US and the EU, designed by corporations for corporations. That's official purpose is to create jobs, boost the economy, and make the world a better place. But what it's really about is one thing only.
Start to follow the money.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Greed is good.
Get fooled as they negotiate a deal that will dramatically affect everyone's life. Remain in the dark as talks are held in secret and where the main people consulted are actually corporate lobbyists. Meet Carl de Gucht, the EU's top negotiator, a man chosen by, well, no one really knows, whose conviction on this agreement is truly overwhelming.
And on top of that, I think I'm right.
Seriously? He thinks he's right? The man represents 28 countries. He'd better be damn right. So ride along for an epic journey with crazy business demands. See corporations sue your country for laws they don't like. Lose whatever remains of your online privacy. And say farewell to your food safety, public services, and welcome fracking as the new best way to destroy the planet. TTIP, screwing you over. But it's okay, it's good for business.